Hey traders, Rishi Patel, co-founder, Master the Markets, the Elite Traders Conference and the Traders Open Day, and a very warm welcome to 3 important bar types. So what could be the important bar types that we're talking about today? Well, the first one is probably one that you've come across quite often, and it's the one that we personally use most often. It's something that we were trained to use and look at from the very beginning, and that is OHLC bars. So OHLC bars are actually fantastic bars, help you to map out the market, and they're time bound. As you know, they're time bound type bars. So where we say time bound, we restrict them. So you may look, for example, at a H1 chart, for example, a 1-hour chart on the MetaTrader environment. And you might look and you might see, well, you're getting bars, OHLC bars, forming every 1 hour. So these OHLC bars are time bound. You specify, you're in control of actually which time frames you look at on these OHLC bars. So you can dictate 5-minute, you can dictate 15-minute, 4-hour, 1 week, it doesn't matter. You control the OHLC bars in terms of time. So this is a superb bar pattern to use. I personally am biased towards OHLC bars because when we were first trained to trade the market, we looked at OHLC bars. When we were further trained by professional quant traders with years and years of experience trading the market and have pretty much pioneered automated trading in this space, they actually went on to teach us in OHLC bars, but they actually taught us different permutations, i.e. removing the opening and the close and just looking at the high and the low. And if you've seen Tiru's video on the bar patterns, you'll know the different types of patterns that actually we were taught. So there's lots of things that you can do with OHLC bars. Don't underestimate them because they're so widely available. They are a very versatile tool that we use all the time, and they will give you different patterns and they'll set themselves up. But sometimes other traders I've met prefer to use the second type of bar pattern, which is candlesticks. So candlestick bars generally tend to look like this, and you've got the wick itself followed by a body. So the wick is the first part of it, and then you've got the body, which actually forms the next part, and you'll know where the open and the close is on these particular candlesticks, because what generally tends to happen is the color of the actual body itself will dictate where the bar has opened and closed. So for example, if this were to be highlighted in green, we would know that the open is below the close and the close is finished higher than the open. We know that. If on the other hand, this candle, let's say, was to be in red, we would know that the close is down here. The high and low will stay the same universally throughout both the candlestick and the OHLC bar. So for the OHLC bar, some of you may know this already. This may be new to some of you as well, but you have an opening price, which is always on the left-hand side. You have the low price, which is dictated by the little leg just there. Then the top part of this is telling you where the high is, and then of course you have a closing price as well. So the difference between the OHLC and the candlestick, both of which, by the way, are time bound, generally speaking, to the different time ranges that you can get. Of course, you can get different charting packages where you can have different time ranges as well. There's a charting package called eSignal that allow you to automatically maneuver and work out whichever time frame you'd like to trade. With the MetaTrader environment, it's restricted to some certain types of time frames that you're restricted to, but you can use OHLC bars in any platform, any charting software, and candlesticks as well will have all of this information. So you can use any charting package you want. They will all have the same layout in terms of these bar patterns. And the OHLC and the candlestick, if you really want to look at the difference, then the OHLC and the candlestick, you can see that this is an OHLC bar where you've got open and close. And then if you wanted to transition that to a candlestick, all you're really doing is connecting the close and the open together with a body and a certain color, in this case green. This would be your open, this would be your close. The high and the low do stay exactly the same. So this is very important to note and to understand. So these are both types of bar patterns which we've said here are time bound. So what could be the third type of bar pattern? And Is it time-bound? Well, let's have a look. The third type of bar pattern is range bars. Now, range bars are slightly different because they're not time-bound. So range bars form in a slightly different way, and they work on the premise of, well, who said that bars need to be bound by time? So they work on the basis of when the market covers a certain range. And as a result of that, they generally tend to be a little cleaner to look at in terms of charting patterns. So a range bar would only really move once the market has covered a certain range. And of course, where you set here the H1 or the H4, depending on hour or 4 hour, you're actually setting in the range bars, you're actually setting a time period. So not a time period, in fact, sorry, my mistake. You can see I'm still thinking about OHLC and Candlestick Bars. In fact, you set a period in terms of range that the market needs to cover. In the case of FX or foreign exchange, you can use a pip range. So we may say that every time the market covers 10 pips, we would like a new bar to be formed. Now, 10 pips can be covered in the space of a minute or 30 seconds, or it may take 4 hours when the market is moving really slowly for the market to cover a range of 10 pips. But once 10 pips is covered, you will see all of the bars that form have all got the same height, which is 10 pips. And this, of course, is a completely different type of charting pattern that you can use, a different type of bar pattern that you can use when trading the market. Again, look back at my particular video on building a trading strategy, the 7 steps, essential steps to building a trading strategy, and I'll talk very much in there at the first stage about concept and objective. Now, where we talk about concept and objective, depending on what your concept and objective is, you will vary the type of bar you use for that particular outcome. So sometimes range bars will be appropriate, other times you may use OHLC bars. So really experiment with these different types of bar pattern and certainly take some time to look at range bars because they're a fascinating type of pattern that you can trade the market with, which give you much cleaner moves in the market. But obviously everything comes with pros and cons, and that's why it's important to experiment and find what's going to work best for your particular trading strategy. So that's pretty much it from me on this video on the 3 important bar types. I trust that's added value. And until the next time, stay disciplined, follow your plan, and trade like a master. Bye for now.